Hi, I'm Pam Tiberia with Spruce Interiors, and I'm a home stager working here on the seacoast of New Hampshire, helping people spruce up their homes and get them ready for sale. Today I'm going to share with you 5 tips, 5 simple staging strategies that anybody can employ in their own home in order to get their house in tip-top shape and ready for the market. Our first staging strategy is to create a welcoming first impression. Buyers make up their mind about a home within the first 30 to 50 seconds they come through the door. So we don't want to provide them with any objections or any idea that the home is not for them. To that end, usually realtors bring their clients in the front door. So I want you to think about how your prospective buyers are going to enter your home and make sure that that space is looking the best that it possibly can. This is a hard-working space. Any family is going to have sports equipment, outdoor clothing, shoes, but we want to also point out that this foyer has a fabulously huge closet, so there's no need for a lot of these items to be out and about. We'll make a quick couple of changes to this room and show you how you can create a more welcoming and warm impression in a very hard-working and busy area. Couple of quick changes make this landing strip area, as I call it, a lot more functional and a lot more beautiful. A couple of matching baskets under the bench hide the shoes you put on most often, and also the recycling. Why bring it into the rest of your house? Why not go through it when you come through the door and throw anything that you're not going to keep right here so it's ready to go back out for the recycling. And then add a little bit of pretty, add a little bit of texture and some soft textiles. Entry rooms, foyers often have the echo factor and there's not a lot of upholstery going on, so just bringing in a little color and softening a utilitarian bench adds a little punch to it. Remember that big clothes tree with all of the coats and mittens? We don't want to give buyers the impression that there's not enough storage for their gear and their outdoor clothing, especially when we have a large closet right here. So removing things that take up a lot of visual space and add visual clutter helps to make this foyer much more open and much more spacious. Here's the second staging tip for you to think about. It's important to depersonalize your home as much as possible without taking out the personality. Remember, your home, if it's for sale, is now a product on the market, and we want to help potential buyers envision this being their home and how it would be to live in this space. So to that end, a very highly personal family wall of photos would not be something that we would want to have, particularly in the front entrance. It's best if we can use neutral art and simple furnishings so that buyers are not distracted by what they see, nor are they wondering more about your family in this home than their own family potentially living in this home. Here's an example of how we can switch out a cherished family photo for a much more neutral piece of art that still works with the color palette of the home. My rule of thumb is this: any type of personal family photos should be reserved for the interior spaces in the home. Once the buyers have had a chance to tour their home, they'll have a great idea of what it would be like to live there, and then they won't be so surprised to see someone else's family in the master bedroom. So personal photos, avoid putting them in the hallways to the entry and also above the main focal point of a room, such as the fireplace. Save them for the inside. Staging tip number 3 is to remember to accentuate the positive. Show off your home's best features and focal points. Here's a great example of a living room in which they are completely ignoring the most beautiful feature of this room, which is the fireplace. The leather recliner actually has its back to the fireplace, and there's what I call an unusual suspect in prime real estate next to the fireplace, that big, huge desk. I talked to the homeowner about how she uses the space as she will be living in it, since we were getting it ready for sale. And the desk is there because her son 5 years previous, would sit there to do his homework. He's no longer living in the home, so we decided that we could remove the desk and replace it with a chair so that she could actually sit by the fire and enjoy it. The leather recliner was moved to the opposite end of the couch, still in prime TV viewing location, but just giving us a much better view of this focal point and opening up this space and clearing out the clutter so that we can appreciate the room for the size and the shape that it is. Here's a great example of not ignoring the focal point. In this room, your eye travels directly to the most beautiful feature of this room, this gorgeous fireplace, these lovely open windows, and the yard beyond. The furniture is not blocking the main element of the room, and we can appreciate this room for the light and beauty that it has. Staging tip number 4, we have to tell buyers and show buyers how a house needs to be lived in. So tell it like it is. Oftentimes people get comfortable in a home and then they, without even realizing it, shift the purpose of their rooms. Suddenly dining rooms are playrooms, bedrooms become offices or TV rooms. And since buyers need to be shown exactly what the house can do for them, we really need to strive to put all of the rooms back to their original purpose. Here's a great example of what could be a great guest room in this empty nester's home. Obviously the children had moved out and they've just left these spare bedrooms to become collection areas for old items. So in this bedroom, we removed the desk since it wasn't being a functional item for the family and replaced it with a simple twin bed, a small side table that was already in the home, a piece of art and a nice lamp that we found at Home Goods, and we spent $20 on a new bedspread, and for a total of under $100 we've created what is really a wonderful guest room, and we're giving potential buyers the idea of how this space can be used when they inhabit this home. Number 5 is all about simplification. In the staging world, less is always more. And we have to remember that your home's going to be photographed and shown online. So we want to keep each area of the home as light and as clean and as simple as possible. A great vehicle for demonstrating this is this bed, which has a rather heavy headboard and different colored bedding from bed skirt. I'm going to transform this bed and use very simple white bedding and larger pillows to sort of give this a little bit better proportion. And you'll see how, through the lens of a camera, this bed and its new bedding breathe new life into this little bedroom space. So once again, less is more. We've switched out the bedding to a simple white coverlet with beefier pillows to raise the head of the bed, give it a little bit more of a luxe feeling. We took down a small piece of art in that tiny space and just simplified the accessories, which thereby visually expands the space and gives you that more open feeling that we're seeking. Simplicity is key in staging. So finally, just a little bonus information for you regarding color. I often get asked what a good staging color would be, especially if we're having to replace some very strong colors in a home in order to neutralize the palette. So I've come up with a few options, all from the Sherwin-Williams deck, that I feel are neutral but not boring. These are great flexible options from Sherwin-Williams that will go great with any decor. Jogging Path is a great green-gray. Lovely neutral backdrop. Windsor Greige, a nice beige warm sand color. Ancient Marble, if you have anything that needs to be earthy, this is a nice light green. And Believable Buff, one of my favorite warm neutrals for rooms. If you have a room that you'd like to have blue, Sea Salt, fabulous color from Sherwin-Williams. And yes, even gray can play nice as a neutral. It's very trendy right now, but it also works with almost any color. So once again, I'm Pam Tiberia, and I hope you've enjoyed these simple staging strategies for your home. For more information, please feel free to visit my website, www.spruceinteriorsnh.com, for more staging information, lots of before and after photos, and background information on me and my company. Also, I highly recommend that you work with Nancy Beveridge and her team at SeacoastSold.com. They're a great team to work with, and they'll help you get it sold and move on to your next adventure.